This is Mind Escape. I'm Miriam, and tonight I took a few minutes of my busy schedule time out to just bring awareness to a topic. A conversation that seemed to have been left in the dark by many. A conversation that has affected me on a whole, privately, and I'm going to speak up about it and my journey. This conversation is about mental disorder or mental imbalances or whichever way you want to put it. Mental disorders. First of all, I want to describe what mental disorder is to me in a nutshell. Mental disorder is like a rare, or not a rare, but a combination of conditions or illnesses that affects the mind. It affects the way we think, it affects our moods, and it affects our action. So there you have it in a nutshell. And when we're not thinking right, our moods are not right. And when the mood is not right, then our action reflects that also. So anyway, I have a beautiful daughter. I will not say her name yet, and she's a teenager now. When she was born, she seemed normal, healthy. Toddler phase, she seemed healthy, normal, and around her first birthday, I started to realize a few delays, developmental delays. So, as a parent, guardian, friend, loved one, I would encourage you all to pay close attention to young kids as they develop. That was my first clue. Her speech came in very late, and because of that, my antennas went up. Yeah, Houston, we had a problem. So anyway, I visited doctors. They referred me to speech therapy, and the long drawn out story. She was too young. Let's give her time. Well, time we did. We gave her time, and it didn't get any better. When she finally spoke at the age of 2.5, nothing made sense. Nothing made sense. If we were talking about the toy, she would flip it over and talk about the rain. It just did not make sense at the time. So I knew I had a challenge on my hand. At the time, I didn't tell anybody. I don't know, I was embarrassed. I guess embarrassed for people to find out I have a child that was different. I didn't want my image or ego to get hurt like a lot of us are doing today. So anyway, at the age of 6, we started doctors, we started therapy, we started psychiatrists, we started everything we could think of at the time. It didn't work. It did not. I wish I could sit there and say, and we all live happily ever after. No, we still not living happily ever after. We're still waiting for that chapter. So at the age of 7.5, she was placed on medication. I will not mention the meds because I really want to keep that part of her life private. So when you do comment and you give feedback and you want to talk about someone let's not use names, or let's switch names, and let us not use names like the hospital names or what medication our loved ones were on, or where you stay. Just trying to be private and considerate. Anyway, she started the medication. It was a very low dose, I do recall that, and she was on it every other day. As we know, medicine is a practice. So basically, we tried different medication until we found something that worked for her. Unfortunately, at 7.5 years old, she had a lot of complications. She slept too much, she ate too much, she got agitated too much. It was never a balance. It was a lot of too much of this or too much of that, or not enough of this, or too much fighting at school. So it was difficult to cope as a single mom, but I had to do what I had to do. And one key was to never give up. My advice to you is to never give up on your loved one. Never give up on your friend, your coworker, your pet, whatever. Be there for them. They need that support. Okay, so now, many more years later, she's now a teenager, no longer 7.5, but she's a teenager, almost an adult, a young adult. Her illness have reached its peak. About a month ago, she was escorted or taken out of my home because she didn't want to be here no more. She couldn't be here no more. I found out a lot of the treatments, they were not working for her, but she did not voice it. She always said, yes, mom, they worked, but they didn't work because she collapsed. She had a nervous breakdown and she had to be taken away from me and placed in long-term residential facility. Is it easy? No, it never gets easy. It's not easy. But the reason for me doing this tape, last weekend when I went to visit her, there were a few parents, a few moms, and they were having such a difficult time coping. And there were dads too, and brothers and loved ones. And while we were there, a few parents asked me a lot of questions. How do